Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Well, what do we have here? New details are coming to light in the case of Nolan Xavier Wells, who was murdered in Mississippi over the 4th of July weekend. I said murdered because I do not believe for 1 second that this boy accidentally drowned or died or he slipped and bumped his head or something. No way possible. He was murdered. Yeah. So now we got new details coming to light. Yeah, fam. New details are coming to light in the investigation into what happened to Nolan Wells on Horn Island, Mississippi. And you also have the mother of one of his friends defending her son on social media. Jackson County Coroner Bruce Lynn Jr. confirmed a body was discovered Monday on the island. It was positively identified as Wells through dental records. His cause of death has not been released. There's Nolan with his so-called friend, one of his so-called friends. He's one of the guys who went silent. He don't know nothing. Him don't know nothing. Him don't know nothing. Yeah. Okay, so what happened? Nolan was celebrating Independence Day with a group of friends on the island. His grandfather, Christopher Wells Sr., was angry that it took more than a day to find his grandson. Too many unanswered questions. How can an island that was searched yesterday produce my grandson's body this morning? There's nothing right about this. Nolan Xavier Wells deserved the same things that the people he knew and associated with will enjoy in life. So you know what that means, right? Granddad thinks his buddies killed him. Yeah. He thinks his buddies did. Yeah, how does a body wash up like that? That's what they try to act like. They was like, well, the body washed up. But guess what, fam? Oh, you know what? I'm not going to hit you with a spoiler alert. I'm just going to continue to read and you'll pick it up. Brian Thrasher from United Cajun Navy said he was flying over the island at 6:30 a.m. on Monday. A park ranger found the body at 8:45 a.m. that day. My belief is, check this out, fam, he just washed up within the time period because we're flying a long grid, north and south, Thrasher said. It was just a park ranger doing his morning rounds. Thrasher said the body was not waterlogged, but he didn't know its condition. The term waterlogged means something that is so completely full or soaked with water, it becomes heavy or sluggish. Several of Wells' friends have since retained attorneys. Wells was reportedly also speaking with the girl on the island before he disappeared. She is also cooperating. Why are they saying she is also cooperating? Ain't nobody else cooperating. Atlanta Black Star confirmed Eli Jax Patalo, Eric Alcantara, Wyatt Pyron, Warren Hudson, and Morgan Seymour switched their accounts to private. ABS reached out to all of them for comment. Hudson's mother, Ashley Cole, took to Facebook to defend her son, Warren. Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends, she wrote. She added that her son reported last seeing Wells around 3 p.m. on Saturday. Some people online claim that several of Wells' friends have scrubbed their social media accounts and set them to private. Cole said she also deactivated her social media. Given the very heightened emotional state of social media right now, I fear for the safety of my child and my children, she wrote on Facebook. Yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency. I apologize if anyone was offended that I deleted my social media. There were no nefarious motivations. Cole said she also went to high school with Wells' mother, Christine Wansley. I have the utmost respect for her and all the Wells' family. We mourn the loss of Nolan with them. A picture circulating online of Wells also features several of his friends. Wells is black, and most of the other people were white. We live in a world of clickbaiting, sad but true, Cole wrote. My family is hopeful that this information will help to redirect the attention to the Wells family, their grief, and their need for our community's support. Hell no, we ain't redirecting nothing. The family got support. They got a whole lot of love. And part of that support is getting down to the nitty-gritty of what exactly happened to Nolan. Yeah, and I think your son might have a clue. Yeah, we got to know, man. Wells's family has reportedly retained high-profile civil rights attorney Ben Crump as they work to figure out what happened to the 18-year-old. In a statement, Ben Crump said the family deserves answers and the truth and urged investigators to pursue the case with urgency and transparency. Crump told journalist Don Lemon that the family will request an independent autopsy that should be completed by Friday. He claims there was a big argument on the boat because Wells, who was a student athlete, made it clear he didn't want to indulge in anything that would appear in his system. He had a big workout on Monday, Crump said, adding that the family is not convinced Wells died by coincidence or accident. He claims that the family discovered messages were deleted from Wells's cell phone. It's very implausible that Nolan would have not wanted his cell phone with him if he was going to stay on the island, Crump said. There are so many inconsistencies going on. Yeah, and when there's inconsistencies going on, that means somebody is lying. Yeah, that means somebody is covering up something. Somebody is sweeping something under the rug. Somebody don't want us to know the truth. That is the only time you have inconsistencies. This thing is supposed to fit like 1, 2, 3, boom, case closed. That ain't the case. Watch the sheriff actions also. He was very quick to call it a suicide. He's like, yeah, this looks like no foul play. You know, he was, or let me back up, not a suicide, but perhaps an accident. But you know, they love to talk about how black people commit suicide. So it's always a suicide or an accident. It don't matter how many white people were hanging around him. It was a suicide or an accident. Yeah. So here's the case, family. As I told y'all before, I do not believe justice is going to be served in this case. I do believe that they're going to sweep this under the rug. Now, for any of you who might be getting on Ben Crump's case, let me say this. Ben Crump is not a criminal attorney. So Ben Crump does not get justice in the form of punishment, criminal punishment. Ben Crump gets justice in the form of money. That's what he does. He makes sure that if something goes on, if there was a wrongdoing and there's somebody liable, Ben Crump makes sure that whoever's liable pays. Now, I don't know how this is going to work out because they're not going to hold anybody liable. They are not going to point the finger at anybody and say this person is the reason Nolan Wells is dead. This person killed Nolan Wells. The law is not going to investigate that. I'm telling you, they are not going to investigate this case. In fact, let me back up. They do investigate, but they only investigate for their personal knowledge so that they can have something on the people. Whoever killed them, they like to know who killed them so they can have that wink wink and let them know, hey, I know about that, right? I know what happened. So they like to know what happened because they need to know when they have competition in their community. They need to know if they got other killers besides themselves. They need to know that. So whoever those killers are, they'll find out exactly who it is. Now, what they're not going to do is share that information with us. If they were to share that information, it would be an absolute miracle and an anomaly. They are not interested in solving these type of crimes. They are not interested, at least not interested in solving these type of crimes so that they can prosecute somebody and bring somebody to justice. No, they'll solve the crime for their own benefit, their personal benefit, and that's it. But they're not interested in the family of Nolan Xavier Wells getting justice, not one iota. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.